on the way to Massachusetts to get an old race car to go racing with, an old Busch Series car, but that's not what we're talking about here. You might be wondering, why am I standing in a cemetery? And there's a very good reason for that. These 4 headstones right here that you can't read are my relatives. And 2 of them fought in the Revolutionary War. They both died about 220 years ago. I'd known about these guys. My grandma was in the DAR, but never knew where they were buried. So I looked it up. It's in Raubsville, Pennsylvania. The Delaware River is right over there. And that's kind of weird because I grew up in Pennsylvania, other side of the state, but this is from my mom's side of the family, which was from Michigan. So it kind of came full circle. This guy right here was George Henry Kleinhans, Sr., or Georg Heinrich. He served in the militia between 1784 and 1785 in the American Revolutionary War, 2nd Battalion, Northampton County, private 5th class under Captain Peter Hayes and Philip Boehm, per Pennsylvania Archives. And that is his wife right there, which would be my 5th great grandmother. These are my 5th great grandparents. Anna Maria Saylor Kleinhans. And that is her dad. So this would be my 6th great grandfather, who also fought in the Revolutionary War. And that was my 6th great grandmother. All 4 of these right here. And there's more Kleinhanses scattered in here. They have been here so long, you can't even read anything on here. I mean, there's pictures online on the Finegrave thing. It said George Heinrich Kleinhans on it. You can kind of read the Klein right there. And then it had a bunch of German stuff on there. This Raubsville Cemetery has 819 records of headstones in it. And George Henry was the 4th guy in here. Look how close it is to the road. Can you imagine what these people would think about what's going on right now? Can you just imagine? All these headstones in here that you could barely read. If they could just pop back up and you could explain to them what's happening, they'd probably get right back in the ground, honestly. Because why would you stop here and look at this? It's just bones in the ground. But it's for perspective, because these people died 220 something years ago, and one of their descendants went out of their way to go stand here and look at it. Why? Because these 2 guys especially, they fought for something they believed in, something that was important, something that is important to have perspective on and remember in times like these. This country wasn't even 40 years old when these things were put here. And yeah, there's nothing left of them now but bones in the ground. But what they did lives forever. And I think about that, and I think, how could I live my life in a way that one of my descendants 230 years from now would want to go find where my bones are in the ground just to think about it? Maybe you should think about that too.